Let's open Revelation chapter 22. Just trust God that we lay a foundation today. As the Lord give grace, again we build on it. From verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. The throne of God and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded a fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God. For there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God. But there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God. So, by this phase, it shows that what is taking the place of curse is the throne of God. Where the curse at occupied, where the cause at reign, where the cause has operated, where the cause has exercised dominion, the throne of God has taken the place of the cause. So therefore, we need revelation to know what is the cause. So if the throne of God is taking the place of the cause, it shows the cause is also a throne. That the cause is not just anything. The cause for the throne of God, if you're a student of English, and there shall be no more cause, but the throne of God. Telling you is as if a turn of events, a switch. It's a switch. It's like a switch. There's something that has been prevalent, that suddenly there was a new introduction of something so that there won't be a vacuum. Another operation was constituted and instituted to replace the cause. So we cannot understand the cause without understanding what the cause is. There have been a lot of, thank God for the meek of the world, that brought understanding to us that we are no longer under the curse of the law. That we are no longer under the curse of the law, but under what? Under what? Grace. And oftentimes when we teach the curse by the meek of the world, what people easily relate with curse have to do with the curses that was recorded in the book of Deuteronomy. For if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the Lord thy God, for these shall be what? These shall be what? The blessing. I will bless you. But if you disobey and not hearken to his word, this curse shall follow them, overtake them. But so, book of Galatians made us to know, Paul was writing, that for curse, that there is the end to the curse. And the end to the curse was Christ. For curse is every man that is hung on the tree. For curse is every man that is hung on the tree. So there is the understanding. Okay, thank you so much. Look at it. Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law. Oh, thank you, breath of God. For Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. Being made a curse for us. So, there is what Jesus was made for us. He was not made the curse of the law for us. Look at it carefully. Jesus was not just made the curse of the law. He was being made a curse for us. It was not just what Jesus was made. It was not just only the curse of the law. Although the law has its curse. But there are other curses before the curse of the law. The curse of the law is as a result of they that are under that testament. You know, the curse of the law is only applicable to those who are under that testament. I mean, those who they brought the commandments, the ordinances, and everything that the law encapsulated to them was, if they obey it, the curse that follows it will not come upon them. Rather, they will receive the blessing. But when they disobey the commandments, there is a curse with it. So Jesus, so okay, look at, thank you so much. Say, for as many as are of the works of the law. Because Galatian church, I heard Pastor Maker saying, some men that they call synagogue of Satan, who call themselves to be apostle, but they are not apostles. They weren't true apostles. They were Christian, they were born again, but they said they were not true apostles. They were false apostles. They were born again. To be false means they were bringing things that were not according to the dispensation that they were about to apostles. They were bringing things that pertain to the old into the new dispensation of Christ into the church. They came to the church. In fact, when you read the Paul, say, who are those who come to trouble you? They came to trouble the church the Galatian church was already walking in the faith life. Because it said, did you receive the Holy Spirit by works of the law or by the hearing of faith? That's the hearing of faith. So they were already open to the hearing of faith. They were church that was hearing faith. They were to the hearing of, they were in the state, continuous hearing of faith. And the hearing of faith is the hearing of the word of Christ. They were hearing faith because it will take the hearing of faith for Christ to dwell in me by faith. Christ dwell in me by faith. Ephesians chapter 3. That Christ may dwell in your heart by faith, being rooted and grounded. So it takes the hearing of faith to make Christ dwell in my heart. Without faith hearing, preparation, abode for Christ to dwell won't be created. Because it takes faith and continue hearing of faith and obeying faith, which is called obedience of faith, and not all nations to bring about Christ coming. Christ can't come into my heart until my heart has heard enough faith. And faith that my heart has heard, my heart has obeyed it. When my heart has obeyed, I had faith and obeyed it, it calls for Christ to come. It calls for the anointed one to come and dwell in my heart. That Christ coming to dwell in my heart is a life. I assess a life. Christ is a life. Is the anointed life, or the life that the seven spirits are spelled out. That's another word. Christ is the life that seven spirits has spelled out, or the life that the seven spirits has designed. A life that has been fashioned by the operation of by the activity of the seven spirits, working, responding, yielding to it. The life that the seven spirits has fashioned out within the heart is what is called Christ being formed in my heart, or Christ dwelling in my heart by faith. Hallelujah. So we saw that there was those people. Likewise, they went to Corinthian church, Galatian church, and they drove that church and came to trouble them. They came to trouble them. The trouble came as a result of what they bought, that they must be circumcised. And that without observing circumcision, physical circumcision in their flesh, and do some law, some command, that they will not, they are not yet okay. And so, Paul made us to know that if you do one law, and you disobey, if you pass, if you fulfill everything, but in one, you have broken all. If you break one, you have broken all. And that Christ is the end of the law. And Christ is not just the end of the law, it's also the end of the curse of the law. So, but the curse is not just only of the law. You remember when man fell, the earth was cursed. You remember? The earth was cursed. God does not curse people. What? It showed that the tree of the knowledge of good and of evil is a cursed tree. The word cursed is cured from the word the accursed one, or the accuser. That which opposes the accursed one, or the accused one. So we can see that the cause is there are causes when man fell. The bringing in what man fellowship with is a what was a cause. What was a cause? God caused the ground. That ground that God caused, God was not just causing that. The ground God caused the ground, but there was a land that was able, that was fertile for the seed of the knowledge of good and evil to produce. Is that land supposed not to permit the tree of the seed of the knowledge of good and evil to flourish? It's supposed to give room for that life, because that tree is a life. There was the ground was fertile for that land to grow disobedience. That was that land. So when God was cursing the land, it wasn't because God hated Adam and Eve. It was putting limitation to how much the tree of what? The tree of good and evil will be able to produce and multiply. Because they need to place limitation to it. So that was what God was causing. God was placing limitation that you will not go further. You will not progress. There won't be prosperity. There were many other trees in the garden, and those other trees were also grown by that ground. The Bible said there were many trees that God told them, you are free to eat of every tree in the garden. That's why in that book of Revelation, immediately the throne of God took away the curse. The next thing you saw at the either side of the river was a tree of life growing. Because what will not cause the tree of life to flourish is that tree, that curse. So we can see that there is no way. So God cursing the land, earth, down there, although it wasn't just talking about physical land. It was a prophetic symbol to have to do with the heart of man. Because what Adam ate, that tree, when he ate it, he did not just nourish his body alone. He went into his soul. And that thing that went through his soul killed his spirit. And that seed put himself in the soil of the heart. I said one of the reasons why Satan has not been able to produce yet the man of sin is because of the limitation God placed on the ground of the heart. It's because of that cause. That's one of the reasons why. Because we can also know that even the physical earth is the earth that God brought, that God created for man, is not yielding his strength. You know, nations are fighting because when you see something, look at little oil that Iraq is having. Our nation, Kuwait, how America will go and invade another man's territory because they want the oil there. And what you are seeing, that land is not even yielding its increase. That is not the best of the head. When you see natural resources, that's not the best. That's not the best because God is withholding things. Because nation only came to little benefits of the head. They are saying there's no God. In that state of fallen state. If much more, if the earth is yielding its full goods to man. Because, you see, the earth is so beautiful. You see, you may not know why people die to go to outside the country until when you travel out. Not really to old empires. If you go to recent modern cities, you see men carving things. What men are doing with natural resources out there. You can see. When you see what men are doing. There was a particular documentary I brought for my son. It's a documentary about plane. The BBC did 3 series on plane. They call it City in the Air. City in the Air. At every given 1 hour, more than 100 million people are in the air. And more than 10,000 planes are flying at every hour. The latest plane that they do, the Boeing 7027, which can carry 800 people in the air. I was just showing my son, and you could see, and after each of the sessions, they say, like never before, it is more safe to travel in the air than any other means of transportation. At every series, that's how you could see. They were showing the machines that were put together. One of the wings of the plane is taller than the stretch. It's taller than times 3 of standard Olympic pitch. That's not the state. What that last in the wind that grows up. It says taller. It's stretched. It's wide. It's taller than 2 or 3 Olympic pitch. And you could see, and you know this thing, God that created it. Man didn't create anything. It's what God created, a man took out and used to make those things. So, but despite that, the head is not still yielding in its full strength. It's not yielding its strength. What is yielding is weak. Look, our politician, why they are misbehaving is because of oil in Niger Delta. Look how much corruption and degradation that is in the land because of oil, he has finished this oil, just one. And that oil is not even yielding his full strength. Because God placed a limitation. Because God knew that when man fell, if we leave the head to be yielding his way is yielding, you will not have the memory of God anymore on the head. Because man we plunge into his invention and discovery. You know, there was a time, the Lord was in book of, is it Isaiah chapter 42, or 40, I think 42, he was talking to the Cyrus. He said, he's the one that have made Cyrus to discover hidden riches of the, you say it's in the dust. He said, riches of the dust, I hid it. But because of my house, because I need resources to be moved to Jerusalem, to bless, and support the building of the temple, I will open your eyes to accept those secrets things. So Cyrus came into some natural resources in his day that brought about resources that he could send people to go and build back the temple and restore back the Jews back to their land so that God's prophecy can be fulfilled. So we could see that there are many things that God is hiding from men. There are many things in the natural that we don't know. The earth is too rich. God created a rich earth for mankind. But Adam was so higher than those things. Adam was so higher than those things. So there is a level of cost that God placed. And that cost is not just to limit it, to stop his yielding his full strength, even in the natural. So that essence of it, so that man's heart will not follow after the tree of knowledge of good and evil totally. And God will not be able to reconcile man back to God. But beyond limiting the head, God also did it because when man ate that tree, there's something that happened to the heart. Because the heart is also a type of ground. Say you remember? The parable of the sower. The heart is a type of the ground. So there is a word of God that God also placed upon the heart. That it will only take the revelation of Christ to heal the heart of that cause. Likewise, because God knows that there's something in the heart that man has eaten by the reason of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That tree, which is an accursed tree, killed the spirit, and the seed was sown in the heart. And Satan knew what that tree can do. He knew the capacity of it, and God also knows it. So God had to play limitation to it. God ahead of time have gone and caused it. He caused it. And you also remember, he also caused the serpent. He also placed a cost on the serpent. He also placed a curse on the serpent. So, but out of all these curses, Christ was made the curse for it. No matter the shade of the curse, Christ was made the curse for us. Not just the curse of the law, but even when the heart, because if that heart, that brought the heart to limit the growing of the knowledge of tree of good and evil. So Jesus is an embodiment. So I took it. Because it's not just made a curse, it's also a blessing. Ephesians 1 verse 3. For blessed be the God who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Christ. So just as Jesus became curse or was made curse for us, likewise also was he made blessing. So what to do to take away the curse is to receive blessing. You know, in those days, I know Pastor also recently said, I like teaching me of the word. When people come and say, I'm under curse, And people are doing deliverance for them in those days. I don't do deliverance. I say, you say there's curse. So how to reverse curse is that you place blessing. I say, and there are blessings of God in the scripture. And I will say the blessing of God make it rich and add there no sorrow. So in those days, when you come and say, maybe it's a curse, I say, no, you are not that curse. So I say, I go through scripture with you. I say, this is what God say about you. This is what God say about you. We go through the scripture. This is what God say. So by the time I sit with you and show you the blessing of God upon your life, because how to deal with curse is to bless. You remember, Jacob, just to draw a parallel, Jacob placed a curse on Reuben. You remember? But when Moses came, Moses blessed him. It was reversed. Because how to deal with that curse is to place a blessing. And Bible said the higher is blessed. The lower is blessed by the higher. So Moses put a blessing over that tribe. So Jesus is also the blessed one of God. Let's say Jesus. The blessed one of God. Jesus is not just, Christ is not just carrying blessing. He's the blessed one. Just as he was made the cursed, they also constituted him to become the blessed. Christ is the blessed, just as God, who is blessed forevermore. They are talking about God in the book of Timothy. Say, who is blessed, the only potentate, the blessed one. So Jesus is the blessed one. He's not just the cursed one. He's also the blessed one. And since he's the blessed one, the reason why he was the blessed one is to address every curse. It's to address every curse. You know, when I was away, I saw they put a post. You know, there have been a lot of back and forth about tithing. Don't pay tithe. You take tithe, there's a curse upon you. There's no curse upon you. So eventually, I now saw Baba again make a comment about it. He made a comment about it. Baba again, they must have quoted one of his message and posted it. So he has nothing to do. You know, in the New Testament, he has nothing to do. Either you don't pay your tithes. When I say there's no, Baba again was saying there in that way. He said it has nothing to do with the curse. The curse will not come upon you, but the blessing also will not come to you. That's what Baba said. The curse will not come to you, but the blessing also will come to you. Baba said no. So Baba said the church should not be. I read it. Baba again said the church should not be. Okay, yes, in the New Testament, Christ has taken away the curse in Book of Malachi. So the curse of that have been taken away. Okay, the curse have been taken away. So when you don't do it, the blessing also won't come to you. So don't need to argue. Say no. How can you say God has taken away? Some of what new Christian people that are preaching about no pay tithe, that are we saying we're under curse? There's no curse. Christ has been able. Yes, there's no curse if you don't pay your tithe. I agree with Baba again. There's no curse for it, but there's also blessing for it. So you won't have the blessing of paying it. Just as they won't have the curse that there's no blessing. So you want to be on your own, and I don't want to be on my own. I can't be on my own. So when I read it, I said, this is a good answer. I just like that answer. Because you are not partaking of the curse, yeah, you are not also partaking of the blessing too that is in it. So we can see that Christ was made the blessed one. And Christ is not only the blessed one, Christ, God, was also the blessed one. So Jesus was made a curse. So the curse that Jesus was made, or what they call curse, is not just a curse, is a throne. So Satan is an accursed one. Let's say that. Let's say Satan. The accursed one. So when we are talking about curse is a is a formation. It's a throne. It's a formation. It's a throne. It's an arrangement within a being. Satan is the first, and the funny thing is, they are the first accursed beings. They are everything about them are curses. Because they are transgressor. Let's say transgressor. Transgressors. Satan is a transgressor. To transgress. Another of to transgress is to trespass.